All right, viewers, you're welcome to another wonderful time with Global Entertainment News Sport Time Show, where we give you the best of how it happens around the world of sports. I still remember your host, Ogu Stephen. All right, moving straight to our top story from sports today. Wizard clinch wins for Brentford to dent Nottingham Forest European hopes. This week, Nottingham Forest weeded themselves for the Champions League. Evangelos Marquez acknowledged his controlling interest in the club to compare with UEFA's ownership rules. His other club, Greek champions Olympiacos, have qualified for their grandest stage in the club game, but Forest's bid to return to Europe Premier competition will likely go to the wire. While Forest look back on the defeat at home to Brentford as a costly misstep when their season ends here against Chelsea. Forest will face Crystal Palace, Leicester and West Ham before that po ten tial final day downfall with Chelsea never really gets going on a disappointing evening. Goals from Kevin Shade and Onyem Wissel, a January target for Forest, condemned the hosts to successive league home defeat for the first time since. I think it's actually a very poor one for Nottingham Forest side, having that high hopes of qualifying for the Champions League from the third now dropping down to sixth position on that Premier League table is actually a very poor one for that side. And moving on to our next story for today. Chelsea on track for final as Jackson double leads domination over Georgie Garden. The party in the stands was at odds when everything's taking place on the artificial pitch. There was no ironic about the celebration from the noisy Genewsng fans when their team finally found the back of the net. The roar was defiant and emotions was genuine. The only problem though was the Chelsea were already 4 goals in the good by the time Isaac Lamehuma Molugate got the underdogs on the score sheet in Stockholm. It was not a great look for the competition that UEFA invited for the benefit of the European smaller teams. Chelsea against the 11th best team in Sweden for the place in the final in the Conference League. Well, actually, this is actually a very big one for Chelsea. Most people actually call Chelsea a bully in that league, but in that competition. But I see Chelsea as a team that wants to show that they are really. So I think it's actually a very big part for Chelsea to actually go straight to the part when it comes to having a better view in that Champions League. We believe this European Conference League home. It's not a new thing for Chelsea winning leagues, winning cups like that. But after that 4-0 new down already, it took Dodgy Garden a very strong time to get back on their feet. But we're going to expect more from the second leg. See Chelsea going home with a 4-1 early advantage in that encounter. All right, moving up to our next story for you today. Ange Postecoglou says Bordeaux goal will not dent Tottenham's confidence. Departing, Ange has insisted that Tottenham's have the belief that they can overcome a tricky second leg in the Arctic Circle and reach the European League final despite conceding a late goal against Bordeaux Glimt. When Asante gave Protagonist Nordigan championship hope of mounting a comeback next week at Spurs, had raced into 3-0 lead in the first leg thanks to a goal from Brennan Johnson after just 38 seconds, James Maddison and a penalty from Dominic Solanke. Bodo have a formidable record at home, having won 6 of their 7 matches in Europe so far, including victories over Olympiacos and Lazio. I think this is actually a very big tie. We all know Bordeaux has a very strong home record when it comes to bringing people home there to tackle that. 2 goals lead from Bordeaux actually bring that game to a tie. All right, so many games went down in the Champions League where we saw Arsenal losing to PSG in the first leg encounter at Emirates. And on Wednesday, we saw Barcelona having a 3-3 draw against Inter Milan, a 6-goal shootout in that encounter. Moving up to the Premier League on Thursday, we saw Nottingham Forest losing to Brentford 2-0. In the European League, we saw Manchester United away from home trashing out Atletico Bilbao 3-0. Tottenham Hotspur edged a 3-1 win over Bodo Glimt. And in the European Conference League, we saw Tottenham losing to Chelsea 4-1. We Betis edging Fiorentina in that encounter of the first leg 2-1. Alright, moving up to this week features in the English Premier League on Friday, Bundesliga, Serie A, League One, and La Liga. On Premier League, we've seen Manchester United hosting Wolfsburg. In Bundesliga, we've seen Odeon hosting Botcom. Serie A, we see Torino hosting Venezia. League One, we see Rayo Vallecano hosting Getafe. And in League One, we see Nice hosting Reims. Moving on Saturday, we'll be seeing Aston Villa hosting Fulham in the English Premier League. Everton will be hosting Ipswich. Leicester will be hosting Southampton. Arsenal will be hosting Bournemouth. And in La Liga, Bundesliga, we'll be seeing Mönchengladbach hosting Hoffenheim. RB Leipzig will be hosting Bayern Munich. St. Pauli will be hosting Stuttgart. Union Berlin will be hosting Werder Bremen. While Dortmund will be hosting Wolfsburg. And in the Serie A, Cagliari will be hosting Udinese. Parma will be hosting Como. Leeds will be hosting Napoli. Inter Milan will be hosting Verona, and the La Liga will be hosting Alves hosting Atletico. Villarreal will be hosting Osasuna. Las Palmas will be hosting Valencia. Valladolid will be hosting Barcelona. And in League One, we will see Strasbourg hosting PSG. Toulouse will be hosting Rennes, while Saint-Étienne will be hosting Monaco. Moving straight on Sunday in the English Premier League, where we'll be seeing Brentford hosting Manchester United. Brighton will be hosting Newcastle. West Ham will be hosting Tottenham Hotspur. While the big game on the English Premier League this weekend will be Chelsea home against Liverpool. In the Bundesliga, we'll be seeing Augsburg hosting Austin Kiel. Freiburg will be hosting Leverkusen, while Mainz will be hosting Frankfurt. And in Serie A, we'll be seeing Empoli hosting Lazio. Monza will be hosting Atlanta. Roma will be home against Fiorentina. Bologna will be home against Juventus. And in the La Liga on Sunday, we'll be seeing Madrid hosting Celta Vigo. Sevilla will be hosting Leganes. Espanyol will be hosting Real Betis, while Real Sociedad will be hosting Atletico Bilbao. Moving straight to League One, where we'll be seeing Nice hosting Angers. Austria will be hosting Le Havre. And so many games coming up there, where Austria will be hosting Le Havre. That game should be a very big game coming up this weekend. With where we're going to be seeing Lille hosting Alves. It's actually a very big step for them, I tell you. Brest will be hosting Montpellier. Lyon will be hosting Lens, while Lille will be hosting Marseille. Alright, viewers, we've actually come to the end of today's program, I tell you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms for more news and updates on the world of sports. I sing me that your host, Ogu Stephen. God bless you and thank you. Have a blessed week.